This is a short introduction to the IPTO Excel sheet. Here, you can plan, follow, and track your progress in the PhD project over time. The IPTO has an axis showing your objectives, that is, skills you need to attain or tasks you need to complete during the course of your PhD study. The objectives are divided into categories, which can be folded and unfolded by pressing the plus signs in the sidebar. The other axis shows the 36 months allocated for your PhD. These columns are also grouped into years and can be folded and unfolded as needed. The colors below represent different labels that you can assign to each objective to show whether an objective is ongoing, successfully ended but keeps constant attention, or terminated due to a technical problem. There are also labels to signify that you're absent due to stays abroad, studies, maternity leave, etc., or to use in case an objective is discontinued for some reason. Let's have a look at the first category, knowledge and understanding. The very first objective listed here is the creation of an IPTO plan, which has to be completed within the first 3 months. Fortunately, this task was successfully ended and has been marked with the appropriate label and checked in the OK column. If we look at the next objective, allergy to molds, we see that this has also been successfully ended, and that you and your supervisor have checked this in the OK column as well. All of the objectives that you have checked off as OK will eventually make up your list of attained skills at the end of your PhD. If we look at the airborne mold spatiotemporal trends, we see that this is marked with the blue label, indicating that there has been a technical issue and that the objective has been terminated for this reason. However, the remaining objectives in the knowledge and understanding category have all been completed successfully. Keep in mind that this is only an example of an IPTO plan, and that you will be free to add any objective that you find relevant to your personal IPTO. If we continue to the list of technical abilities, the first objective is to perform a critical review. This is an example of an objective which was successfully ended within the first year of the PhD project, but needs to be updated throughout the course of your study, because it's used in your final PhD report. Therefore, it has been labeled orange. The third category is project progress. Here we find objectives like analyzing and organizing raw data, planning a cohort study, planning a panel study, etc. In this case, the planning of the cohort study was scheduled to be completed by the end of the first year. But planning a cohort study entails lots of minor tasks, and you may realize that you need more time and a better overview. So you add a bunch of new objectives to the list, like applying for ethical approval, recruiting participants, contacting hospitals, and setting up appointments for tests. After having added these new tasks, it's clear that your initial plan won't do. You have too many tasks to perform at once, so you and your supervisor could choose to postpone or rearrange some elements. Finally, we have the communicative skills, like courses in written English, writing your critical review in English, and teaching a class in risk assessment. Here we see that the first installment of teaching has ended successfully, but the objective is recurring throughout the rest of your PhD study, and thus the labeling will be changed on one installment at a time. If used right, the IPTO helps you visualize and keep track of your time estimates on all your many objectives, and make sure that you and your supervisor have an overview of the grand plan. The IPTO can be a great tool for planning your supervision sessions and making sure that expectations are aligned between you and your supervisor.